guess what? Welcome to the Island Shuffle.
Guess what? Welcome.
My name is Bean Levier.
I'm James Brown.
On this show, we watch the television show called Lost. It's about an island and the people who crash land on it on a plane.
And also the people who were there at other points.
Yes, it's all about the history of this
And then
mystical.
it's about heaven and hell.
It's about this supernatural, magical, mystical, marvelous little island that it's a gift that keeps on giving.
Yes.
This is episode 10, baby.
We made it. A decade.
A whole decade.
It's been 10 years.
It's been 10 years.
One episode a year.
That is silver anniversary, I believe.
Silverversary.
Silversary. Adam Silversary. Adam Silver runs the NBA.
Sylvester Stallone. Sorry.
Yeah.
Student Sylvester Stallone.
If we sound a little different, guess what that's because of?
We got better stuff.
We got better microphones.
Yeah, we improved.
Jim's Brown over here ordered a handful of fancy pants microphones.
Got some tools.
We were hooked up to like a thingamajig, and the thingamajig makes us sound good. But a consequence of that is that now we're not just before we were using one blue snowball and we just kind of set it between us, and that kind of meant that I was free to shake and shimmy and gesticulate as freely as my life would allow me. But now I got to kind of focus my words into this. We're locked in.
But I think you'll notice that we're locked in.
Yeah.
Like when you're locked in, you're sort of. It's like when you're on a snowboard and it's like shit. That he's not on a skateboard.
No.
You know, you're locked in. It's like when you have skates on and you're like, these aren't flip flops.
You're locked in.
You're locked in. It's like the opposite of Home Alone.
Exactly. You are locked in. It's like when you leave your car keys outside. You're locked in.
You're locked in when you leave them outside, but you're in the car, but you need the keys to open the door.
Yeah, you need
Classic
the keys. You need the keys to open them from the inside.
That's
all
all know
keys
that
work.
one.
Hey, listen, I don't design these crazy contraptions. I just drive them and constantly get locked in them.
All right.
Brother.
Well, today we rolled a very special episode.
We did. It's a very special episode. Not only
a
is
very
this
special half of an episode.
So this is not only our first episode in the double digits, first episode on some fancy pants microphones.
What do you mean our first? Oh, our first episode in the double digits.
Yeah, episode 10.
Like
Yeah.
We watched episode like 76 the other day.
I know what you mean. This was our first time watching a finale.
We got a finale.
Wow, we watched the finale of season 1, which is Exodus Part 3.
Part 3?
Part 3, baby.
That's absurd.
So let me explain to you how.
So you can't make it 2-part. It's a 2-part finale.
It's
a 2-hour special.
Those 2 parts
but
are
like,
parts.
No, it doesn't do it.
Those 2 parts are parts 2 and 3.
Oh, that's awful.
Part 1 aired a week earlier.
Oh no.
It's not convenient.
How long does Exodus take?
3 hours.
I guess.
Minus commercials.
3 weeks.
Yeah. Well, 2 weeks, because 2
weeks in it. Yeah.
Because 2 and 3 aired back to back.
ABC switched up the schedule for that last one. They gave Lost some airtime.
They did.
Yeah,
so basically, what that means is we watched the last half of the season 1 finale, effectively.
Well, even the last third.
The last
I guess.
third, technically, yeah.
Since they broke it up into 3 parts.
They sure did break it up into 3 parts. I don't think this is the only 3-part finale that's broken up very awkwardly and weird. One, I think season 4 does the same thing. Most of the finales tend to be at least 2-parters. Some of the premieres are even 2-parters as well. 2-hour-long affairs.
It's absurd. They're full of themselves. They couldn't get enough of their own show.
These jokers.
Wow.
Who do they think they are? 2-hour finales. What are we made of time?
I was reading the Bible. Exodus took like 10 minutes to read.
You really read the book of Exodus in 10 minutes?
Yeah.
Give me what happened in the book of Exodus?
They exceeded their expectations. Well, the performative word in Exodus is exit.
Mm-hmm. And of
so
course,
they sat on eggs like chickens.
Mm-hmm. And of course, the base word is us.
Us.
Which is referring to the community of folks that are stranded on this island that have become, at first, they were all me, But in the interest of shared survival, they've become us.
They do become us until heroin gets involved.
Heroin gets involved. There's some heaven and some hell. Not in this episode, but we know that heaven and hell happen.
Wait, yeah. It happened in the past. It'll happen again.
It happened in the past, and it'll happen again. We should... I don't know where to start with this one, because these finales tend to be, like... Not only do these finales tend to be, like, a lot, but, like... The pacing of, like... Let me tell you that watching, like, the final hour of the finale is, like...
It was bizarre.
It definitely is, like... let's just, let's start right at the beginning, shall we?
Let's start right at the start. What did it start with? They were on the raft?
No, actually. It started with
the smoke monster.
It started with the smoke monster. Yeah. We see... So, Kate, Jack, Locke, and Hurley, a motley crew. As motley as a crew as you've ever seen.
Crew.
Love that crew.
Okay, band.
Am I the Weeknd featuring on one of Drake's old tracks? Because I'm loving that crew.
I don't know that.
That's fine. Someone probably does.
Someone got the reference.
Hey, guess who knows? Guess who had a month where he was really into Drake? This guy.
I like that.
It's definitely a fun fact about me.
I've never listened to much Drake.
That's fine.
Yeah, I'm okay with it.
Yeah,
whatever.
you can live with that. Yeah, I'm not.
I liked him on Degrassi,
I'm not gonna.
He's like Drake is just like John Locke.
In what sense?
The real world for Drake is the island. Where if Drake's on a TV show, though, he is confined to a wheelchair.
I get it now. Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Whereas that's the thing for John Locke, too.
Yeah, a burgeoning rap/R&B career is kind of a lot like becoming a believer in destiny and a
I would
sort
say
of fanatic.
Drake definitely believes in destiny.
He does. I mean, I started from the bottom. That's something, right?
And yeah,
that's something, right?
I don't know where he got, but it's.
I mean, Locke certainly started from the bottom.
Now we're here,
and now he's here. There's something there. You can Google your favorite Drake songs and fill in your own lost jokes about them if you'd like.
Thank you.
Please do that and submit them to us. Submit them to our Facebook page.
So we can repeat them later.
Yeah, so we can
we'll say them to the fans and they'll think that we wrote them.
Exactly, yeah. we'll it's a perfect scheme. There's no holes in this scheme at all.
No.
So, these boys are going on a journey. They're on a pilgrimage, an exodus, if you will. They're going to open up the hatch.
I love the hatch.
You gotta love the hatch. Anyways, we'll talk more about the hatch later. Right now, what happens is they hear that some creepy sounds in the jungle, and then some trees get ripped up, and all of a sudden, Locke's getting yanked all the way away.
Down the road.
All the way down the road, baby.
Down the woods. It's really weird. The smoke monster didn't age well.
No, the smoke monster.
It looks very bad.
Looks turbo bad.
It looks ultra bad.
I think that's a consistent thing we're going to see is that this show, when it relies on CG, the results are very bad. There are like a handful of this is. By the way, not the worst the smoke monster has ever looked.
Really? It can get worse.
I mean, you saw him in Ricky's episode.
Yeah, I thought he was better.
He was a little better. He's got some other ones that are pretty embarrassing looking, and I'm not just talking about the smoke monster. In general, there are things where it's like, whoa, Lost. You shouldn't have gone for CG for this one.
Yeah, exactly.
Shouldn't have done it. But anyways, Jack grabs a hold of him. Locke's just about to get pulled down this gaping pit in the middle of the woods.
Pit of despair. And Locke's holding on for dear life. Jack's holding on for dear life, rather. But Locke says, no. Let me go. I'll be fine. I love this guy. I'll be fine. This guy, the smoke monster.
This is a good Locke impersonation, by the way. That's how he sounds.
Oh, let me go.
Mm-hmm.
Destiny.
I like that he's a parrot.
Yeah. Locke.
Oh,
Don't
man.
tell me what to do. You can't tell me what I can't do.
Oh my god, man! These
Yeah.
already these high quality microphones are paying off
Yeah,
in spades.
exactly. And dividends.
Yeah, you guys can hear.
There's so many, like, the people at home listening, you
Mm.
can't see, but there's so many dividends in the room right now.
Oh my god!
I can't
Look around
figure
you.
out where one divot ends and the other begins.
Oh my god! Oh my
What?
god! You can hear James Brown being arrested by the joke police in real
Yeah.
time.
Oh my god.
Okay.
And then what happens? Yeah, so that was weird. And
That's weird.
Jack is
Mhm.
sort of mad. That sort of sets off the
Mhm.
whole Jack and John Locke
Mhm.
tensions that will
Mhm.
play out
Mhm.
throughout the episode.
Later as they're strolling through the jungle at nighttime, Jack confronts him about it and says, "What the heck was all that back there? You wanted me to let you go? You're off your gourd, baby." And Locke basically looks at him and says, "No. I trust that I would have been fine. I'm sure that I was just being tested." And Jack's just like, "You're bananas, baby." And
I love. I don't know which is worse, my Locke impression or your Jack impression.
You're bananas, baby.
I think it really works when we both do it at the same time.
Mhm,
I
yeah.
feel like Jack's voice sort of sounds like two people saying "you're bananas."
Yeah, I
baby,"
think
at the same time.
I think that's true. All right, I guess, do you want to reenact this conversation and I'll be Jack and you'll be Locke? I think that'll okay.
Yeah. For
All right.
sure.
Well, hey, what the heck are you? You almost died back there. What the
The
heck?
island chose me.
I don't think that's
The
true.
island.
I'm
Locke.
well, I don't believe in destiny. Destiny's bananas, baby.
That was good.
Not
was
bad.
good.
That's not bad. Hire us, JJ.
That could be a fucking radio show. Like,
Yeah.
people would tune in for that show.
I mean, people are tuning into that show
I
right
guess
the
so.
hell now.
I guess so. We're on the radio.
We're live. We're on the air.
Radio on the internet.
We're on the air.
Radio Free Roscoe.
We changed the rules around.
Oh, shit. They should make a show called Radio Free Podcast.
Shouldn't
And it's
it,
about the podcast doesn't cost any money.
shouldn't it be? Wouldn't it be podcast free, Roscoe, or something?
No, they put the podcast on the radio. It's just a radio show.
Oh, brother. Oh boy.
What do you call it when like the housing for a pea or for several peas really, like some snow peas, that housing, it gets broken, then what do they put on it to help it heal?
I don't know, James Brown. What do they put on it to heal?
A podcast. That's it. That's all I got.
That's well, that's a wrap for this episode
Thank you.
of My
Thank
Life.
you. We're done.
We're done.
We're done,
That's
yeah.
it. Thanks for subscribing. 10 episodes and
10 years.
And that's it. That's the extent of my
Interest
life. My
in
interest in
doing
pretty
this.
much. Hey,
so then
no.
What happens?
Lots of stuff happens. I want to mention that like conversation is like one of the like fucking hot ones. That's not, when I say a hot one, I mean like you're gonna see it on a million like previously on Lost.
Oh,
Because it's like
yeah.
cause it's so like establishes the like Locke is a bananas boy who senses that there's something wacky about this island, but Jack is level-headed and can't has had enough of his guff, and he's just trying to help everyone survive.
Such a good description.
Yeah.
That should be a thing. We should do previously ons.
Should
and
we?
You'll just go, Locke is off his rocker and he's a bananas boy and Jack has had enough of his guff. and I'll do impressions of them. I'll go, I've had enough of your guff. I believe in destiny.
I think there's something there. I think
Yeah.
that we should do it previously on maybe.
Yeah, let's do it previously on.
Yeah. All right. What was episode 9? Do you remember? Let me look.
It was about. I don't remember. I don't remember.
Episode 9 would have been
Was it
Juliet.
Juliet? Juliet number 2.
She's not in Portland.
Juliet is not in Portland. Okay.
All right. So, we're gonna start the tape. And 3, 2, point.
We're in Miami, baby.
Hey!
And scene.
So needs work. Needs some sanding down. needs a bit of needs a bit of fleshing out for sure before we fully commit to that idea.
Let's try it. We'll try and do a better one next time.
Yeah, next time we can do a better one, I bet you.
For this episode, because it'll be fresh. We'll like think about it.
Exactly. I'll have it previously in mind.
Okay. What else is happening this episode?
What else is happening this
episode?
episode?
Gets stolen.
A baby gets stolen. So, the whole, for context, Danielle, who we haven't really talked about much, but Danielle's a crazy lady who's been living on the island for 15 years. She warns us. She says, "Hey, everybody, the others are coming." And then she walks up to Claire and says, "Hey, cool baby," and then steals that baby.
Yeah, give me that.
I want that. So Charlie and Saeed are on a mission to go find that baby. Charlie gets bodied by one of Danielle's many booby traps, many Yogi Bear-ass booby traps.
That was sick. She dropped rocks on his head.
Rocks on his head, and he's, like, bleeding out. And Saeed's like, "We got to go back." And Charlie's like, "Not without that baby, we're not." And so Saeed's just like, "All right, I'm going to cut open practical Saeed, cuts open some gunpowder, pours it on Charlie's open face wound, and then lights it up. And we cut away and Charlie screams. And it's a pretty gnarly scene.
It was so sick.
Definitely a reminder of like, oh yeah, this show in season 1 was all about like, we have to address the fact that this character is wounded.
Yeah.
Survivalism is a thing.
Yeah. I guess that is a thing.
Mm-hmm.
The whole survivalism aspect sort of, or at least the like man against nature survivalism aspect of things definitely goes out the window as soon as like the others are introduced.
Yeah, literally as soon as they get down that hatch at the start of the next season.
All of a sudden they're in the first world again.
It just doesn't matter anymore. All the survivalism questions are just gone. They're not even, doesn't matter. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
The island has a plan.
I believe in destiny.
Who doesn't? After watching this show,
Jack,
as long as we have, how can he not believe in destiny?
That's a good question.
Everything's so clearly planned out.
We're destined to watch 110 more episodes of this show.
That's something to look forward to. That's something that's exciting to me.
Oh boy. But they find the baby.
They do find the baby. They find the baby, and and Danielle basically is like, she's like crying, she's a mess, and she's just like, the others said that they were coming for the baby. I thought that if I gave them this baby, they would give me back my baby that they stole so many years ago.
But they fucking, well, yeah, I guess she didn't meet them.
No.
Maybe they would have given her back the baby. No,
maybe.
They wouldn't have.
I don't think so.
No,
I think
they don't. They're not like in a baby trading industry.
No, they're not really. Here's a fun fact. Remember those last couple episodes we watched where we had that pro slingshot lady, pro slingshot teen?
Yeah.
That's Danielle's baby,
That's
baby.
The baby.
That's the baby.
Alex.
She's 16. She's been taken on as Ben's adoptive daughter, basically, through kidnapping. And it's just that's just a funny thing to be aware of watching this episode.
The baby.
The sweet baby. A lot of kids getting kidnapped in this episode. We should get to the
kids taking naps.
I want to mention actually first before we do it. Charlie's a meanie.
Charlie's what?
Charlie's a meanie.
What do you mean?
He's
yeah. It's justified.
It's justified.
But he's really mean to the lady who stole the baby.
I mean, and she did steal a baby, but like she's also clearly like not like right in the head. She's like basically this whole other scare was just her ploy to seems like it was just her ploy to steal a baby. And so she has the whole camp up in arms for just so that she could steal a baby. So it's not great.
I'd like to think if I caught someone stealing a baby, I would be a bit more understanding.
Yeah, that's true. If I would take the high road,
exactly.
I would not.
I'd be like, well, I wouldn't have done this, but you know, you made your bed. Now go take a nap.
Yeah, exactly.
You kidnapper.
Yeah, exactly. But Charlie instead shouts, "You're pathetic!" at this lady who is like crying so much that she can't cry anymore.
Yeah,
she's like
having a rough
time. She's like got this fixed like scream on her face kind of, It's really like twisted to look at.
Well, I think she's so fucked up because she's like, oh, I'm gonna be written out of the show so soon.
Yeah, it's true.
I've got like 2 paychecks left. Oh, fuck this.
She actually sticks around for like a while.
She? Yeah.
She's like she hangs around. She hangs around till like season 4.
Chill with like the fucking.
They're chilling around.
Stealer.
They're not. No, I wouldn't say chill, but like they come to an understanding.
I like that.
Yeah, it's
I
not
like
bad.
That.
Anyways.
What else? There's a raft.
A raft is the raft. So there's a raft that's been built and has been sent out to seek help. Upon this raft, we have a real set of boys.
It is a ragtag crew. It's really incredible, actually.
Now listen.
That was one of the true accomplishments of this show, I think, to put all of these characters together on a raft.
Definitely a top moment, which is we've got everyone's favorite protagonist, Sawyer, hanging out.
The main character of the show.
The main character of the show is there. His name is Sawyer. We've also got, who else do we have? We have Michael.
Who
we haven't seen much
sucks.
of.
I fucking hate Michael.
Michael's mostly mean. His son Walt is there as well. And also Jin has come along for the ride as well.
Yeah, and Jin is like speaking a couple words in English.
Yeah,
that's sort of what he does.
He's got a sheet written down that has some words translated into English.
You know what's actually sick about that?
What's that?
All of Jin's words are like boat words. So he's saying words that I don't even know.
Yeah, dude. Well, you don't know starboard and aft?
Not really. I don't know.
You call yourself a maritimer, buddy.
I mean,
get out on the schooner. Catch me a couple fish, bud.
I've gotten on the schooner enough times, you know. If you know what I'm talking about, the schooner's a type of beer.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm talking about the type of beer.
You've been 3 sheets to the wind, I see.
I love that.
That's a good that's a good expression.
I think it was my destiny, honestly.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I know we've made the island joke, but Prince Edward Island is an island.
Hey,
you know,
I grew up on an island.
And Montreal is an island too.
Holy shit.
It's destiny, baby.
I just shuffled islands.
Yeah, dude. You were just shuffling from island to island.
Fuck, I love shuffling.
Shuffle those cards.
I'll shuffle anything.
There's not many things that can be shuffled.
I would trade, like, if I had a couple kids, I'd be like, you're the oldest, you're the middle child, you're the youngest now. I would shuffle their ages.
That's a remarkable power that you would hold as a parent.
Yeah, it's really incredible
My goodness.
how much I enjoy the act of the shuffle. It's like, I don't like the end result, too. I would hate it more than they would.
No, of
I'd be
course.
like, why... Fuck, dude, I wish you were still 13, but now you're 6 years old. You're a lame fucking 6-year-old.
Yeah, that kid has to go through all of school again.
Exactly.
That's
like
no good.
You're doing a bad job, buddy. Like
it's not good.
You're way too old for a first grader. But I just enjoyed the act of shuffling.
You just enjoy the chaos that it brings.
I think
just like what we were doing with this damn show.
I think having a 6-year-old in like the 9th grade would be so much cooler than having a 14-year-old in the first grade.
That's true. I think that is the sickest prospect ever because on the one hand, schoolwork, much tougher, much harder to understand. On the other hand, all your friends are way cooler and can probably drive and shit. Think about that.
They can probably fucking drive you around.
Yeah, dude. Not bad.
Not bad. It's like you're automatically cool if you hang out with the older kids, and
now you have a reason to outside of.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You have no choice.
Yeah,
really.
you're
it was
forced
your
to.
destiny.
Yeah, it was. Well, listen.
What are we talking about?
I don't believe in destiny. We're talking about our favorite television show, Lost. Talking about how I don't believe in destiny.
Well, actually, holy shit.
Hey.
Bringing it back to the fucking show.
Bring it
In
back.
a way, that's what Walt is right now.
Yeah.
Walt is hanging out with a bunch of 40-year-olds. In a sense, he is a 40-year-old.
Yeah.
Right because he's like an equal.
Yeah, exactly. He spends a lot of his whole arc for season 1, I'm pretty sure, is just like he has to kind of figure out how to like exist among all these adults and a bunch of different like he has to be cool with Sawyer, who's a murderer, Kate, who's a murderer.
He's a bunch of fucking murderers.
Yeah, and this kid's just a
kills
kid.
It. Like, he slays.
He definitely slays. Interesting thing
Even with the shitty dad.
So I wanna get into how the raft story goes because this is one of the more iconic. Like the way every story kind of wraps up is a little iconic, but like This one's one of the more memorable ones, which is
Yeah, whenever that scene happened, I was like,
you're-
oh shit, that's burned into my memory.
that's definitely like if you know Lost, you know this fucking scene.
Yeah.
So the boys are out. They're adrift. They're hanging out. They're cracking wise. And suddenly the radar starts going off. Bip, bip, bip. Saeed built this radar for them, and they're going like, what the heck do we do? We only have one flare. Should we fire it? It could be a driftwood. I don't know. And eventually, finally, they decide, whatever, let's pop it off. And they pop off that flare, and sure enough, the blip gets closer to them and closer to them, and then boom, a floodlight happens, and the boys are so happy.
Yeah,
the boys
like,
are so
we're being
happy.
rescued.
This is maybe my
we were on a
favorite scene
flight.
ever. They're just like cheering. Walt's happy. Even Sawyer's just like giving like hoots and hollers.
Yeah, Sawyer's like high-fiving. He's like
they're
popping the champagne.
Everyone's hugging. Everyone's having such a good time. And then on the boat, who is it but our friend, the only gay character in Lost, Tom. He's bearded. He looks haggard. He's wearing like fisherman's clothes.
I wouldn't have recognized him if you didn't mention it.
I had to mention it to you because he looks so much different. And Tom is all like, hey, what the heck are you guys doing all the way out here? You were on a plane crash. That's pretty cool. Well, here's the thing. Here's the only thing. We're gonna have to take the boy.
That was a really good impression, too.
Hey, we're
That's
good at
a good
impressions.
one for impressions, yeah.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, if there's one thing that our audience viewers love, it's impressions, baby.
Oh, my God.
Man,
I hope
definitely
this episode leaves a good impression.
Oh, it's gonna. Also, definitely take a count on how many times we've said "baby" this episode. Because I've said it. Because I've definitely said it upwards of 8,000 times.
And we've literally, there's like, we were talking about a literal baby getting stolen.
Mm-hmm.
So we used it in several different ways.
This is the baby episode, isn't it? So speaking of baby getting stolen, in the ensuing chaos, the Walt is yanked off of the boat, and the boat that we now know belongs to the others throws a Molotov cocktail onto the raft, blowing it up.
It's so sick.
It's a heck of a scene.
They're so mean.
They're very mean, and the episode ends with just like Michael among the burning wreckage of his raft shouting Walt a bunch, and that's how we mostly spend season 2, is shouting Walt a lot.
It's so good.
But here there's a sense of urgency to it. Now I want to tell you something.
Yeah.
Do you know why Walt had to get kidnapped?
No.
Think about it.
Because they need kids?
Think about it more. I mean, they do need kids. I need to clarify that the others do have a penchant for kidnapping kids. They probably were. I think at this point we know they want. No, we don't actually know that for sure yet. But like, they do want something to do with Aaron. They kidnapped kids from the tail section of the plane. They're kid kidnappers. They're kidnappers. They're kidnappers in the truest sense of the word. They do want Walt, but what's the real reason that Walt gets kidnapped at the end of season 1 and then isn't in season 2 for most of it?
Oh, did he like? I don't know, something about casting.
He's a kid in a show that takes place over a month but airs over a year.
Of course. So he just got too old.
He was hitting puberty, baby.
Wow.
They
he just hit puberty,
Yeah.
so they had to take Michael's kid away.
They just had to.
That's so great.
Yeah.
That's really great.
That's definitely that's like.
I guess that's true, right?
Yeah.
It's like by season 6,
Mhm.
they're like, "Oh, we've been here 100 days."
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Then this kid is just all of a sudden 18 years old.
Yeah, exactly. How are you gonna like? How can you even do that?
That would be by far the most ridiculous thing that the show
Yes.
Lost has ever done.
That would be the last straw.
Yeah, I have accepted everything up to this point.
Yes. The island is a cork that keeps evil out. Okay, sure. An 18-year-old child in 100 days? I don't think so, JJ.
I'm going to cancel my Netflix.
I'm canceling Hulu, and I'm canceling Amazon Prime.
Can we get Hulu?
No, not in Canada we can't, I don't think. We
Haven't
can get
they
Amazon
been-
Prime.
I remember in like 2008 being on the internet. I was on the internet in 2008.
As we all were.
And I would go on Hulu and they were like, Yo, we're working on getting it in your country.
Literally 10 years ago, guys.
Yeah.
Get it together. I know international streaming rights are a nightmare, but for heaven's sake, please. I just want to watch. I don't even know what's on Hulu. I don't
even care. I just want it.
I'm just sick of pirating everything.
I want a
so
Hulu hoop.
so
Just ignore it.
okay. I'm gonna ignore it. So the boys are going to the hatch and they finally blow it up. They set down the dynamite and they blow the fuse. But then Hurley, the absolute madman,
Hurley is gone wild. Hurley, get it together, man. Hurley, get back here. Hurley sees the numbers. They're written they're not even written on the hatch. They're written by the hatch.
They're etched into the foundation of the hatch itself. And so I should clarify that the ostensible reason they're going to the hatch is to hide from this ostensible upcoming attack from the others that they're worried about.
Oh, yeah.
Which did happen, I guess, but not the way they expected it to. But still. But that's not what Locke wanted for. Locke thinks that it's the island, destiny, and all that.
It's my destiny.
Anyways, Hurley sees the numbers.
Tell me what to do.
Hurley sees the numbers and says, "No, the numbers cursed me." We've never really gone into the numbers.
No,
but
we haven't talked about Hurley won the lottery and it ruined his life.
Yeah, Hurley used those numbers to win the lottery.
What are the numbers? 4, 8, 15, 16, 23, 42?
Those are the numbers.
I love those fucking
They're good numbers. You see them all around they crop up. They're on flight 815.
Are they?
I'm pretty sure they
4,
have to
8, 15.
I'm pretty sure they have to those are the same numbers that they have to input into the fucking computer in the hatch.
Uh-huh.
It's
about the fucking numbers.
It's all about the numbers, baby. And they cursed him, and Hurley scared them. And so Hurley says, "Don't light it." Locke lights it anyway, obviously. And Hurley's just like, "No, don't do it, bah!" And he's scrambling everywhere trying to light the fuse, and they have to knock him down. And the dynamite blows up. They move aside the hatch door, and Locke and Jack peer down the hatch in the final shot of the episode, which is the shot of the episode that our album art is based off of.
We stole it.
We stole
our idea from Lost the Show.
Yeah.
Can you believe that?
Can you believe it? I think it was pretty clever of us.
Clever as fuck.
Shout out to Mike Melanson for making that art for us.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mike Melanson. I think he actually came up with that idea, too.
Thank you again. I wasn't about to.
Yeah, no, definitely not. Okay. We've covered most of the island stuff.
Yeah.
There's a couple of flashback things that I want to mention, too.
The flashbacks were weirdly whimsical for a season finale.
Yeah, so the whole premise of, the flashbacks is we see, kind of every character just before they're boarding the plane.
Uh-huh.
Just before they're boarding the fateful flight, 8:15. And in this one, we only see, it ends with a montage of everybody kind of boarding, and everybody's kind of it's very slow motion, and there's somber music playing, and you look at them and you think, wow, these guys were fucking losers when they were on this flight. Now look at how they've changed.
Uh-huh.
Now they're blowing up hatches and they're dying on a raft.
Oh my God, real winners.
Yeah, really won the lottery there. It's honestly a very well composed montage. Everything it's still kind of I see you see Jack puts his thing up and he kind of looks at Locke and he gives him an awkward half smile that you do when you accidentally make eye contact with a stranger.
Yeah, that was cute,
and they're just kind of okay. And you see Walt playing on a Game Boy Advance SP, a silver one, and Hurley walks by him all sweaty, and he gives him a big old thumbs up about his Game Boy Advance.
He
gives a thumbs up to the Nintendo Game Boy Advance SP.
It's really polite.
Yeah, it's great.
Really polite.
It's a lovely little montage, and it's not the last scene, but it's the scene before Jack and Locke peer down the hatch. And it's kind of the cap of the season, and it's nice. I like it. It warms my heart. I'm a sucker. What can I say? I'm a motherfucking sucker for that shit.
What?
Yeah. Anyways.
I'm a sucker. I'm a motherfucker. You got an oyster, I'm gonna fucking shuck her. Everybody knows that I wanted to be a trucker, but my grades weren't good enough.
To be a trucker?
Yeah.
What school do you have to go to be a trucker?
Truck school.
I'll
they
truck
were
you
like,
out of that.
Maybe you could drive a car or something, but No, that just terrifies me.
Maybe you could.
You see truckers out in the city, and it's like, holy shit, you got a lot going on right now.
Yeah, it's not easy driving one of those big old rigs.
I can barely walk down the sidewalk without like
a truck running into you.
Without running into a truck. I don't know how they. I don't know why they're always running into me. I think they must have a lot going on if they keep.
I think you've just got one. You've just got one of those faces. I think.
I guess
one of those truckable faces.
Oh, thank
a face
you.
only a trucker could love.
Thank you. Oh.
Okay. So, one. We have two separate flashbacks that we gotta cover before we wrap this shit up.
Hurley's fucking flashback.
Hurley has like a 10-minute, it feels like, flashback.
It's so bizarre. It was such a weird call.
It's a really...
I don't know why that happened.
It's very just like very like Hurley's the comic relief.
Yeah.
But
watch
he
him
like
bumble about.
Yeah,
He just runs for 10 minutes.
For literally 10 minutes, he just like he wakes up and like his like clock is off and he realizes, oh no, I'm late.
I love that shit. That's the.
It's so good.
I love just the alarm clock is unplugged somehow sort of thing. It's like did someone come in the middle of the night and like unplug his fucking alarm clock?
I think like it was like it shorted out. I think is the explanation they give. They cut to the outlet and it's like blackened and he's like, oh no. And he
could have died.
And he runs and he goes to his car and everything keeps going wrong.
He doesn't go to his car. He buys a car off someone.
He buys a car off some random because he's rich because he won the lottery. He buys a car.
He carries so much money around.
Yeah.
It's like if I won the lottery, I would still only carry a couple $100 around.
Well, that's not how Hurley does it. He's generous with his money.
He has like $20,000 in his pocket. His wallet must be so gigantic.
It is big.
Because he buys a nice car too.
He buys a nice car.
That car must be worth like $15,000 resale.
He drives the car. The car runs out of gas. He gets out. He's still running to the airport. He cuts to the front of the security line, and everybody's like, "No, you can't do that." And he goes, "I gotta do it. I'm late." And he's running, and he goes to the checkout, and the checkout lady types one letter per 5 seconds because that's how you do when you're in a hurry. And she goes, "Uh-oh, your thing is at the opposite," and this is all happening while like Arrested Development ass ukulele's playing. And
it's so bizarre.
It's like fucking like Goofy. Oh no! And like finally he fucking just barely manages to make it. He makes it to the boarding zone, and the lady is like, "All right, well I'll open it for you." And it's your lucky day. She gets on the plane. Not his lucky day actually, because that plane crashes onto an island where he
gets so many memories.
Yeah, the memories he'll make will last him a lifetime.
I hope so.
It's a fucking like weird. It's completely tonally out of place with everything else. And like as soon as it ends, it cuts back to like him like just on the island like muttering the numbers to himself.
Yeah, because
just as like
loves numbers.
He does love those numbers. And the other airport flashback we get is Locke is in a wheelchair.
Oh yeah.
And they don't.
That was a weird one too.
It's definitely a weird one because I don't think this is how I can't speak for myself because I'm not physically disabled, but I can say that probably like okay. So let's actually say what happens. They don't have
the special wheelchair.
Yeah, exactly. They're like we're sorry, love. We can't find the wheelchair, love. And one of the flight attendants goes, well, actually, I could just carry you on if you'd like. And Locke is just like, ugh, fine. And he gets carried on, and he's clearly like uncomfortable with being carried on. And they set him down, and Locke drops his pamphlet, but he can't reach it because his legs don't work. And he's just like, oh, geez. So, like, is that a thing that airlines will do? Is my question. Because this is like a 14...
It's a 14-hour flight, and the expectation is that there's no possible way for him to move at all.
Yeah, unless, like, flight attendants are willing to carry him back and forth to the bathroom.
Do you feel like John Locke is the type of person that, like, he's just so set in his ways?
Yeah.
That he would be in that seat and just, like, full on, like, piss himself and be like, these people are dealing with it.
I think he is a stubborn guy.
He's so headstrong that he would be like, well, this is the airline put me in this situation, like, don't tell me where I can't pee.
Yeah, exactly. This piss was my destiny.
Yeah, it was my pistony.
Yeah. All roads, all paths led to here.
Yeah.
Led to me pissing right into my own seat on a stranger.
Yeah.
So that's that I think is the episode.
That's what it was.
What do you think of the finale of season 1 of Lost?
It was fine. It was good. It was very entertaining. It was not what I expected, I guess, from a season finale. I was just really confused by the flashbacks.
That is definitely like one of those things that I think it loses when you're only watching one half of it.
Yeah.
And that's like, because like usually we can like kind of build a narrative around the flashbacks and be like, oh, obviously, you know, Juliet's like used to be meek and gets let people walk all over her, and now she's a murderer and such. Here it's not really that so much as just like kind of giving us goofy little not like in Hurley's case goofy, in Locke's case it's just like kind of like reminders of like who these characters are and were. They're just really driving home the point of like these guys were in a bummer weird place before they crashed on this island, and now they are better, ? I wouldn't say better, but like they found each other.
That's sort of what yeah, that makes sense, I guess, that they're trying to do
that's what they're trying to go for. I'm not sure how well. I think I remember at the time, because the show at the time had like unlimited potential basically. It was all potential energy at this point. And
they used it.
They cashed it in here quite well, I think, because it's just like look at all these characters you've grown to know and love.
I guess that's a thing. It's like the end of the first season of a wildly successful show that will continue to have a lot more show, and it's just like little snippets of everyone that you've met.
That's exactly what it is.
So it doesn't have to be incredibly meaningful. Because like the mere fact that you're like summing it up and it's like this is the end of the season.
Yeah, exactly.
That's more so the point, rather than just like straight up plot derivation. It's more so like a look back. I guess.
Honestly, I kind of don't mind it.
Yeah,
I think
that's
it's
fair.
I think like
in that context,
I think
makes sense.
like one of the show's weaknesses is its its strength and its weakness is its hard commitment to the like flashback or flash forward structure, where it's like we have to force a kind of narrative to happen. What's another way we can tell the story of Kate running away or whatever? What's another way we can tell the story of Sun and Jin's marriage? That sort of thing. Like there's only so many ways you can tell that, and when you like kind of get away from that and you just instead of being like, let's not do a thread, let's just do kind of small vignettes. That kind of has like I don't know if it works better, but it's a welcome change of pace. There's a couple of other finales that have a similar kind of like scattered across, like you see a bunch of different perspective flashbacks from different people here and there, like, and obviously some of them don't really work and some of them do really work. It's obviously a mixed bag, but I find it a welcome change of pace personally.
That's fair. Yeah. And with that in mind, I think I like it a bit better. Yeah. But I mean, the whimsical Hurley thing, I think, is the one that really gets me. It was just so bizarrely out of place,
especially
and,
the soundtrack of like.
Yeah, exactly.
Here's what I think it kind of would have been better if it was like
whimsical.
If it was like a dramatic ass like chase music,
yeah,
like
exactly.
The same music that happens when they're like chased through the jungle, and it's like like it was like if it was like that instead of being like. And now the story of a wealthy family.
Yeah,
and the
and
one
they
Hurley.
Shouldn't have gotten Ron Howard to do that.
Yeah, exactly.
Like overdub.
What'd you think of the island action? That's what
I thought. That stuff was good. Yeah, that stuff was good. I loved it because I think kidnapping is one of the like funniest things that they could have done. Yep. I think it's so funny. I think whenever Walt got kidnapped, I was like, great.
I think it owns that there were 2 kidnappings.
Yeah, exactly. There were 2 kidnappings like that.
In the
that
truest
makes
sense.
for a good episode.
Yeah.
That makes for a very good episode.
That's drama, baby.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how else are you gonna build drama? Take the kids.
Also, yeah, this was I guess our second look at Michael, and in the first one he shot.
Yes.
A bunch of people.
Yeah, exactly. This is Michael pre-turning evil.
Yeah. And I guess he turns evil because Walt gets kidnapped.
Exactly,
right?
Yeah. He'd do anything to get that boy back.
Fair. But I forgot that I don't really like Michael very much.
He's not great. He does have one nice moment. Not nice, but like a surprising moment where I think Sawyer and Michael are just kind of shooting the shit, so to speak, as you do when you're on a raft for potentially ever. They're talking, and Sawyer's like,
you're awfully patient with your boy. If that was my boy, I would have shown in the back of my hand. That's our protagonist endorsing child abuse, by the way. It's not great. Not a great look on our protagonist.
Not a great look on the number one character
But
in the
then,
show.
here comes Michael with the rebuttal. Michael, of all people, says, man, is that how your father treated you? And Sawyer comes clean and says, well, my dad was shot way earlier, or shot himself, rather, way earlier than I really remember, or whatever. And Michael basically says, okay, so now I get it. I understand why you came along on this rescue mission. You want to die. Either you're a hero, or you want to die, and I don't think you're a hero. And it's like a weirdly astute moment from Michael, who mostly spends a lot of time like being kind of a reactionary, being kind of like a like he like. I mean, we see how he reacts to how Walt gets taken. He's constantly reacting, just like, we got to get him now. We got to get him right now. And everybody's just kind of like, we know you're upset, but we literally can't. And so he ends up shooting 2 people.
I mean, fair. Love it.
Yeah, I can't.
I love the action. I love all things action.
Mm-hmm.
I liked it when Charlie had to get his wound fixed by gunpowder.
Yeah.
I liked it when Locke was being dragged into a hole.
Yeah.
I liked it when Hurley was trying to step on the wick.
Yeah.
And put it out. Is it a wick? What is it?
A fuse.
The fuse.
Yes.
It's a fuse.
'Tis the fuse.
Sorry, I'm more of a candle boy than a bomb boy. Bomb boy Sapphire.
My favorite brand of gin.
Yeah. But yeah,
I
thought it was a good episode. It was above average for sure.
Definitely a pretty decent episode. It gave us, I mean, if it gave us our album cover, how bad could it be?
That's seriously.
Definitely a fun app.
We should, after like 25 episodes, we should switch our new cover to like one of us will be Michael going, Walt, and the other one will be Walt going, Dad.
I kind of don't mind that.
It's sort of funny, right?
There's something there, maybe. As long as it's just different shots from this one episode.
Yeah.
And by the end of it,
it all has to be this episode. One of them, we could put one of our faces on like the baby Aaron and the other on the lady who stole the baby.
Yep, I'm into that.
It should all be kidnapped.
I'm into one of them being Charlie cringing with a face full of gunpowder.
Yes.
And Saeed just like looking over him.
We could do one where one of us is Charlie looking longingly at heroin, and the other one is the heroin.
The heroin Jesus Mary. No, we didn't really touch on that, but they found some Jesus Mary statues. Jesus Mary.
Jesus Mary. You know Jesus Mary?
You know Jesus Mary. Mary, Jesus. They find those statues and they're full of heroin, and Charlie likes heroin, so he took one. What's he gonna do with that? Probably
do the heroin.
Probably do the heroin. I reckon.
Good for him. Whatever.
Good for him. Hey,
you're on an island.
Hey, you got a baby back.
You're not
treat
kidnapping.
yourself.
Yeah, exactly. You save a baby, you can do some heroin. I think that should be the general rules in society.
Yeah, pass that law.
Yeah.
Law passed.
No, it's not. Heroin's bad.
Yeah, now that I think about it, yeah.
On second thought, it sounded fun for a second, but it's like, no.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
We're not going to be passing any laws today, but we will be passing the savings on to you.
For the next 6 minutes, our show is free.
Our show is free. All you have to do is turn off your phone or whatever, or your preferred listening device. Your
Just
Roku.
turn it off, and it will be free.
It'll be free.
When you turn it back on, it will be free.
When you turn it back on, it will be free. And guess what? It's been free this whole time, and it's probably still going to be free as long as we say so. This has been The Island Shuffle, episode 10. Thank you for listening so much.
Thank you.
You know it. You love it. Like us on Facebook if you don't already. And if you do, thank you for liking us on Facebook.
We love and like the updates. I love likes.
Yeah.
That's what keeps me going.
I love loves.
I love loves.
Bring back the thankful react. That's what I say.
Seriously, that flower.
That flower is really good. Anyways, thanks for listening. I've been Bean.
I've been James.
And why don't you go and get